it to me. In that press release, you stated that the former secretary of your association, who is under investigation by your association right now, is spreading false and misleading posts in the public. I'm quoting from your press release. So my first question is, number one, can you please clear up all the false allegations he has stated in public? And number two, you had stated too that he is being sponsored, that Dr. Usenobong is being sponsored. Can you please tell us, speak to that? Who do you think is sponsoring him? What are the false things that he said on the press statement?
Okay, thank you very much. In his reason for doing what he has done, he said that NMA Akwa Ibom State had a sponsorship to carry out an outreach to the tune of 34 million naira, and that NMA Akwa Ibom State under my leadership was only able to account for 6 million naira. That is totally false, because in the first place, there has never been any outreach under my watch to the tune of 34 million naira. There has never been. And the one that we carried out, the report was brought. The financial report of the outreach that was submitted by because we had subcommittees. This is what happens. We have an medical outreach committee. We have a chairman, and whenever, because we've done a number of outreaches, whenever an outreach is done or any other activity that a committee is asked to carry out, at the end, you compile your report, you submit it to the state officers committee, who will consider and push it to the state executive council, who will now consider and finally bring it up to the Congress. So if at any point any of those things is not, maybe for one reason or the other, there's need to call up for further clarification, it is done. When the report of this particular outreach was brought to the state executive council meeting, I told them that the report was incomplete, but so that people will have copies of what had been brought, it was pasted on the SEC platform. Whatever we had, which was an incomplete financial, was posted on the SEC platform. So what they did, they just went and the subcommittee on drugs and on surgical consumables, they just went and lifted only that, not even the complete amount, only a fraction of the amount that particular subcommittee submitted, and then started spraying that that was what was that's what we could only account for, which is totally false. So what happened to the other aspect? What happened to the outpatients that were taken care of? What happened to the report from the drugs that were bought for outpatient? What happened to the subcommittee on eye care, the dental, the ENT? What happens to even the stipend? What happened? So all those ones were not brought in at all. They just went, and because they wanted to give the public a false information, they lifted that and started spreading that we could not account for the amount. Number one, that amount never even existed, and then they now went only a small aspect and lifted up. So that's one. The other one, he talked about the crèche. The crèche was my own innovation. I started a crèche, and as we're winding down, we had asked them to bring a report, and they brought a report. And just as I said, we found that report, there was a fault, but all the same, you see, you have to put it up for people to see in that meeting. You put it up on the platform. It was not a report that was accepted. It was put on the platform so people could look at it and consider. And they arrived at the amount of 5 million. I don't know how they got the 5 million. So the people are just very funny. So they talked about high-handedness. I don't know what they mean by high. They did not define high-handedness. So that's why I said that the information they released to the public was false. And when you talk about